So, you are either a fan of the classic movie series The Matrix, which I hate to disappoint, this isn't really about that, or you're on the verge of empowering yourself with something really special. Because as soon as you bring your awareness to the Matrix, just expose it, you begin to see through it. My name's Casey, and welcome to RadDad Wisdom, a channel dedicated to helping you remember who and what you truly are. Now today, what I want to get into is escaping the Matrix. I want to introduce some basic concepts. So something I really like to do is take really big, complex topics and break them down to the most simplistic form. Okay? We can always layer back on top if we need to with more information, but I want to break it down to something easily understandable and digestible. Start from there. So what is the Matrix? We're talking about a matrix of illusion, okay? And just like any good illusion, the matrix of illusion that we all live within is designed to keep us distracted, essentially. Now, there's a lot of components to it. And this video is not talking about the architects of the matrix or who's benefiting. I want to focus on you and I so that we can empower ourselves to essentially step out of the matrix. So, breaking down the matrix of illusion, there's two primary components. These are energetic components. There's an illusion of fear and an illusion of separation. Okay? Let's start by talking about this illusion of fear. So this isn't to say that all fear is illusionary. Okay? There's certainly some valid fears. What I'm talking about, though, are those that we have a choice, those that we've turned a blind eye to, those that we now have automatic fearful responses to, when we could choose something else. So I want to mention a few common sources of where we can see this illusion of fear play out and what manifests due to that. So first of all, we have a lot of family and cultural conditioning that takes place, okay? And again, just like I don't want to dissect the architects of the Matrix, I don't want to focus on what has led to why certain things have manifested in our life. This is just about witnessing it and then being solution oriented, moving forward. And that's what we're here to do. Okay? But a lot of this grew up in environments where ultimately you manifest this fear of abandonment. Okay? You also, due to family and cultural conditioning, grow up with this fear of judgment. All right? And then the ironic thing is when you have this fear of judgment, you end up judging other people. When you have a fear of abandonment, you end up abandoning other people and then justifying it. And then we find ourselves in this vicious cycle, okay? Fear-based cycle, all right? Now, we also see a lot of this playing out, of course, in social media and social hierarchy, okay? Where people are putting out a facade which other people then see, admire, try to live up to, only to fail because no one's actually living up to that exact same standard. So you then have this fear of inadequacy. Now, one of the biggest places that we see this illusion of fear playing out is through news and media. All right? These fear-based narratives that, sure, it's worthy of being reported on, but there's a certain way that you could report it. There's a certain way that we could then receive it. And then there's a certain way that we could respond to it. When all of those are fear-based, this is feeding the illusion of fear, because if the message was delivered in a love-based way, we received it in a love-based way and responded in a love-based way, we're going to get a completely different outcome. Okay, we're going to help dissolve, in that sense, the illusion of fear. Now, let's talk about the big one. Religious dogma. Okay? This gets us down to actually fearing death because we don't understand what death means. We don't understand that death is liberation in a sense that our experience is extremely special. We should really honor every moment and have it extend as long and beautiful and prosperous as possible. However, when it's over, I don't care how prosperous and long and extended it was for you, you're going to appreciate the fact that it's over, because that's when our consciousness expands and then we ascend back into our essence. Okay? We severely limit ourselves in order to come have a human experience. But the human experience is temporary. Who and what we are at our essence is eternal. And there's nothing you can do about that. Okay? Which leads me into the next component here, the illusion of separation. So when talking about the illusion of separation, I want to start with this mentality of us versus them. And the most obvious example of that is our US political system. Okay, there's nothing more polarizing than that. And it's all set up as a distraction. It's an illusion of separation, okay, to keep us from uniting together. Because if we truly united, we would actually do things that's right for the people and not allow those who are pulling the puppet strings from the top actually do what they're doing. Okay? But oh well, it is what it is. We're a part of it. It takes bringing our awareness to it individually. And when enough individuals do this work, the matrix begins to just fall apart on its own, and we don't have to worry about fixing it. This isn't about fixing it. This is about establishing something new, okay, and better, because it's based on love and not fear. It's based on unity and not separation, right? Now, another thing that feeds into this illusion of separation is the scarcity mindset. Now, this is something that's handed down over time. It's ancestral karma, if you will, okay? Where we grow up with this sense of lack, with this sense of unworthiness, or perhaps you feel that money is evil, so you ward it off in that sense, okay? When in reality, one, we have to redefine abundance and consider that, but two, there is more than enough abundance, no matter how you define it, for everyone on the planet to live in abundance. And we just have to know that. We have to break out of this scarcity mindset, even though, trust me, I'm still paycheck to paycheck, okay? I don't live in abundance when it comes to money in a sense, but I do have as much as I need, even if it's just as much as I need, but I have a ton of abundance in my life, okay? Now again, down to the big topic with this, separation from God. Almost didn't say God though, because there's so many misperceptions and conceptions there. And for me, I like to just refer to it as the all, separation from the all. What does that mean? There's a source of all things. That is what we come from. That is what we are reflections of. Everything to have ever existed, everything that will ever exist, are all reflections of the all. And when that message really sinks in, now you're on the verge of experiencing unconditional love, because you realize there's no need to judge what's truly necessary. Because in order for the all to experience itself as the all, everything in existence is necessary. Everything has a purpose. Now is the time to consider, do you want to take the red pill or do you want to take the blue pill? And we'll talk about what it means. So the blue pill, if you remember, is to just continue buying into the matrix, continue to buy into the illusion, continue having someone else hand you what your reality is. It's actually the more comfortable and the easy route. And you can continue on your way if you choose to, because my videos won't interest you much. Now, if you want to take the red pill, you're choosing the truth, which is just seeing reality for what it actually is. Let me tell you, it's not the easy route. You have to take a lot of personal responsibility throughout this route. You have to witness things that's going to be really difficult and challenging to accept. And everything changes. Nothing will ever be the same once you really see things for what they really are. The good news with this is you become a human lie detector, because you can no longer be deceived. When you break free from the matrix of illusion, you break free from deceit. And you'll eventually arrive at a point where it doesn't even matter what someone is saying to you, what the message is actually saying. You will be able to sense whether or not it is truth, whether or not it is negative or positive, and therefore whether or not you should listen or pay any attention to it. Okay? It's all about self-empowerment. Now, when you choose the red pill, you choose truth. The foundation that I want to begin to lay out is all about choices. Making conscious and aware choices. And the first choice that you have to begin to make is love over fear. Okay? Now, when you hear a really bad message, when you hear a really bad news story, instead of responding in fear, meaning, is this going to happen to me? Am I next? Are my kids next? You respond with love to those who were affected by whatever took place. And more than the ones who may be departed in a situation, because again, that's a relief. You may not fully understand it till the day it happens, but the moment you happen, you'll completely understand what I'm talking, okay? But the ones who are still here who maybe don't quite get it or just deal with grief, because I don't care how clearly you see the illusion for what it is, the matrix for what it is, we're still human. And we still get broken down from time to time. We still make mistakes. We still get very emotional, and that is part of the experience. It's part of the beautiful experience. This isn't about trying to act like that stuff isn't real. This is just about taking a conscious and aware approach to your day-to-day situation so that no one is dictating it for you. Okay? Now, the next thing that we need to choose is unity over separation. Now, I'm not asking you to compromise the things that you hold to be valuable, okay? Your belief systems. I think we need to upgrade our belief systems, but what I'm talking about is just simply honoring other people's beliefs, honoring other people's traditions, okay? And only accepting what does resonate with you, responding with love in situations that maybe make you uncomfortable, but leaving all of that right there. And whenever you go, only take with you what resonates. Only take with you what you still hold true. Okay? Now, the last choice I want to talk about is just simply choosing to be curious over blind belief. Meaning, it's important to understand again that it's okay to take in information. It's okay to be curious about a topic. It's okay to dive into a topic with a lot of curiosity and excitement, only to find out, oops, that's weird. That's not for me. Okay? That's cool, because the beautiful part about that is in discovering what doesn't serve you, it gets you that much closer to then knowing exactly what does serve you. Make sense? Okay. So, we're going to choose love over fear. We're going to choose unity over separation. And we're going to be curious. There's a lot of truth getting out there now. Open yourself up to it. Let's expand our consciousness and awareness. Let's look within. Know that those answers are within. I speak of remembering because I truly believe that all of this information is already inside of you. You just need to hear the right thing at the right time, and it will all make sense for you in your own unique and special way. And I can't wait to be there along the ride. So if you're still here, thank you. I love you. I appreciate you. Please subscribe so that we can continue going down this journey together. Till next time, love you all. Peace out.